Redskins fans? Welcome to this week's edition of the Redskins Rundown. Sorry that we missed a couple weeks, but we'll be on every week now from now on. Unfortunately, the last few weeks have not been great. The 4-game losing streak heading into the bye week. So came up short against Denver today. Biggest thing I think to talk about is the kicking issue. I mean, we cut Dustin Hopkins, which really doesn't seem like the right call when you're picking up, Chris Blewett, who has the worst name possible, but also has no NFL experience. And then he's kicked 5 times now since he's been with us. 3 of those have been blocked.
Yeah.
I mean, he cannot get the ball high enough. He hit Wes Schweitzer in the back of his helmet with one of them, or it looked like it. It might have gotten hit by the defender also, but it's like, come on, man. And, Dustin Hopkins makes his first 52-yarder with the Chargers or something like that today.
Yeah, that was rough, especially when you consider the fact that a few of the ones that I went out there last time you were here and we went kicking, a few of the ones I hit were higher than that, and I haven't even kicked in I haven't kicked in 15 years. I was like, shit. So I was like, if this guy's in the NFL, I was like, that's kind of a concern, because what you want to do in that situation when you're kicking on a longer kick, obviously you do need to drive the ball further.
Well, he does well on the longer kick. I was going to say, he did
Right.
make the 52-yarder, and it seemed, and his kickoff, those were looked good. And that's like you said earlier, it's probably his best contribution is the fact that he kicked it off well.
Touchbacks.
Yeah. So at least he could do that, but he has the leg strength, I think, but he's driving it too low. I think he's used to trying to go for those really long field goals. I mean, he hasn't been in the NFL. It's probably what he did. He goes and just kicks long field goals for practice.
Yeah.
So he's not used to there being a line there to block his kick. So maybe he can work through that. I'm not ready to be oh, maybe they're going to cut him. I mean, well, who else are they going to get? Maybe it can be worked out, but at this point though, man, if 3 out of 5 are blocked, that is not good.
It's been a consistent issue.
Yeah, and Ron saying he impressed him at wherever he saw him. It's really, he impressed you? What, kicking with no other team there?
Where did Ron get this kid from?
I don't even know. I honestly don't even know. It's
Well, I will tell you this, and I hate to be the bad news bear over here, but I did look, and Hopkins today made a 48-yard field goal and went 3 for 3 on extra points.
Yeah.
So Hopkins was 4 for 4 on his kicks for the Chargers today. So.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, we should get rid of him. I probably even said it myself, but that also, that doesn't mean you just cut him. There has to be somebody else that you can bring in, and if there's not, then don't cut him yet. He's not being as consistent, but you gotta think about what you're gonna get once you get rid of somebody, and it seems like they didn't.
Yeah,
and he's helping the Chargers now, so.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, it's an interesting thing. I mean, because like you said, who else are you gonna get? I mean, at this point, the new batch of kickers, at least really talented ones, really won't be around until free agency or the draft hits and the new ones are coming out of college. Because right now you're really maybe going to pick up a guy off somebody's practice squad. But I mean,
right.
even Tristan Vizcaino, who was the Chargers kicker before they signed Hopkins, the Chargers just went and signed him back to their practice squad. So it's as a backup for Hopkins. So, I mean, who knows if that's really saying that they have a lot of confidence in Hopkins, but that's just a testament to the fact that there's really not a lot of kickers out there right now.
Exactly. So, and I mean, this also ties into the next thing. It's they're just wasting too many opportunities, and missing kicks is part of that. And just every time, I mean, we're moving the ball down the field, every drive almost, and it's and then nothing comes. It's just like last week against the Packers, the same kind of thing. That time we had over 100 more yards of offense against the Packers and still lost that game.
Yeah.
Only got 10 points. And this week, I think we had 72 yards more than they did. So it's what's 71 yards more. So it's what if we're obviously moving the ball, things are going, but then once you get into the red zone, it just falls apart.
Yeah, and that's rough. And I think part of it has been penalties. On some drives they've had things that have stalled out due to penalties. They've also had situations where they haven't been able to convert third downs. And I want to say recently like they were like, I don't know how it's gone since then, but they were like 7 out of 16 on fourth downs. I don't know if they've gone for it a few more and what the numbers are exactly, but I know that they weren't exactly, you know,
Well, they shouldn't. I mean, they've been going on a lot of fourth downs and not getting it, but that's because they can't convert on third down.
right,
This is
right,
a terrible stat to have to mention, but it is truth. I read it. If
yeah,
we're on track to have one of the worst records in the NFL of all
yeah,
history in that, and it's like,
yeah, and I actually have it here. They're actually 8 out of 19, so less than 50% on the season on fourth down conversions. And by comparison, like their opponents.
what's the third down conversion rate? Because
Third
that's
down, yeah, 34 out of
that's got to
90,
be.
34 out of 98, so about 30
Oh
something percent.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
rough. That's rough.
terrible. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They,
Well, I
they,
mean, on a sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say they have had an uptick recently in sacks. They had 4 today. They've got 19 total on the season. So one positive has been that at least the defensive line has been getting a little bit more pressure. And they haven't had any games where they've allowed over 30 points in a while, but
That's true.
def- definitely like you said,
Oh, and
really
a
a lot of.
really
Go ahead.
I would say a really bright spot on the defense, now at least, is Landon Collins.
Yeah,
Landon Collins was lighting it up today. That first hit that he got on the one guy, like, oh my God, like I thought he was gonna make him fumble it, and then
yeah,
he got that sack,
and
like
then he
seeing
got
him
and
get
then
a
he got
sack.
Teddy. Yeah, he came off the line quick and
Yeah.
got Teddy, and Teddy just was like didn't even know he was gonna be there. He was shocked. Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
anyone expected him to
yeah,
be there. That was
yeah,
crazy. I was like, did he just get a sack? And then I think didn't he cause a fumble later in the game, or
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought, yeah,
I mean, Landon Collins has always had potential. He was getting beat a lot earlier in the season, but like that's because maybe safety is not his best assignment. And
no, it's clearly not.
and Washington's so deep at safety. That's like one position where they've got like Cam Curl, they've got Bobby McCain, they've got enough other guys that they really don't need him to also be playing safety. And linebacker is a spot where Jamin Davis is still coming along, and besides Cole Holcomb, you really don't have a lot there. Bostic's out for the year,
Yeah.
so I mean you could definitely use him there. And his first game there pays immediate dividends and makes some plays, so that was good to see. And then there's been speculation that as we are now 2 days, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, by the way, everybody. That we're 2 days away from the November 2nd trade deadline. That Desean Watson could be traded, and obviously there's really only been one team that they're talking about him maybe going to, and that's been Miami right now. Um, Obviously, it's been discussed on the show before that that the Texans were looking for upwards of 3 first-round picks for Watson, and Miami obviously trying to lessen the blow and reduce that a little bit, especially with the unknown legal situation with Deshaun. You
Yeah,
really
that's
don't know.
way too much of a gamble. I
Yeah,
mean, three
for
first round picks, like,
yeah. So as of right now, he's not on the commissioner's exempt list. So if he did get traded, he'd be able to play. Right now, he's not playing because he's under any punishment. He's just playing because he's basically just quit on Houston. So
right.
yeah, so if he got traded, he could basically suit up and play as soon as he knows the offense well enough to go out there. So if that deal happens, obviously Miami's the favorite for that, and Miami did just drop their 7th straight game today to go to 1-7 on the season with the combination of Tua and Jacoby Brissett starting. It hasn't been pretty for the Dolphins.
No,
So
and they did pretty good last year.
they were 10-6 last year under
Yeah,
Brian
like
Flores, same
they did
coach.
really good last year, actually. I mean, compared to now. Although you might be able to say the same about Washington, depending
They
on how
only
the
missed,
rest of the season goes.
yeah. Yeah, they only missed the playoffs because there were a couple other teams due to seeding in the AFC, but they were a playoff caliber team last year. And now
Yeah.
they are definitely not. Now they're having some struggles. Same coaching staff, same everything. So you would think that it would be pretty similar, but it has not been to this
Yeah, the
point.
one
So
part of the Deshaun Watson thing that I don't like is the part, the 3-team trade possibility that
yeah,
involves them. Like, I don't I mean, I don't want Tua. If they're like, no, we don't want Tua. He's not our starting quarterback. Why the hell would we want him? Like,
He hasn't looked great to this point. I mean, the only advantage that Tua has, and this is not. I mean, this is just literally the only advantage he has, and I'm not saying that they should do it, but the only advantage Tua has over anybody on the Washington roster is he's younger. I mean, and that's it. Like he's not better, he's just younger. Like so,
yeah,
if you're just trying, but you're trying to upgrade the position. You're not trying to get younger at the position. It's like so I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't think,
no,
and I've gone on record of saying, and this is no offense to Tua because I'm sure he's a fine person, but I just don't think he's going to be an NFL caliber starting quarterback. I think he might be a fine backup, but
yeah,
I just don't see it. And I mean, I think that he started 9 games last season. He started 4 or 5 this season so far, and he's looked good in a couple, but for the most part, it's been struggles. And I mean, they lost to Buffalo today, 26 to 11, so they weren't exactly generating a lot of offense with him in there.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I'd be very interested to see that. I don't know that Ron would want to necessarily, but because here's the thing: at this point, Ron he hasn't pulled the hook on Taylor Heineke in 7 games. So I don't think he would necessarily. I mean, if he would have gone to Kyle Allen already, I would have thought that Ron was in a lot more panic at the quarterback position. I don't think he's ready to sell the farm for Tua.
they already know. They know what Kyle Allen is,
Yeah.
and Taylor. I mean, I don't know, putting him out there a little bit more, but I'm gonna get into that more later.
Yeah, for sure. We will. We will. I'm just saying that I thought that if they were really and rumors happen all the time in the NFL. There's rumors on a daily basis, but
yeah, I'm gonna say that one three team trade rumor that was like not a very solidly. Didn't sound that legit. Yeah. Like I remember it being kind of a.
Yeah, and as we get closer to the trade deadline here, then we've only got, like I said, 2 more days, and once that passes, if he's going to be traded, it's not going to be until the off season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, there's even some more injuries. Chase Roulier, he got carted off. I guess they put an air cast on his leg to cart him off.
That didn't look good.
That's not good. He's not coming back anytime soon, and he's like the anchor. So I don't know what that's gonna mean. It's definitely not good. I mean, hopefully it's not as bad as it seems. But I think when they put an air cast on him and cart him off the field, dude's probably out for the rest of the season. I mean, it's week 8.
I would assume. Unfortunately, I don't.
It's looking like it's going to be a next year kind of thing.
Yeah. We're hoping not, and obviously, T's and P's to Mr. Chase Roulier, but yeah, definitely hoping that he can come back at some point and everything's all right. But yeah, I feel like didn't they had somebody else go down too, wasn't it? Was it Schweitzer or was it who was the other offensive lineman?
Oh, Eric Flowers.
Eric Flowers, that's who it was. Yeah.
It was like Flowers. In the last minute of the game.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Yeah, and then we got Brandon Sherf out. So I mean, that's just really not.
They thought that Sherf might be able to return this. So hopefully Sherf can be back by next week. Or don't they have the bye next week?
No, yeah, it's the bye, the Bucks game, which so, I just got the did the plane shit for that. So
nice.
I'll be at that Bucks game to see them lose. I'm just kidding. Well, hopefully they don't.
Well, I mean, something that we've definitely got to talk about is about a week from now. Ron said that Fitz is going to have an MRI, so I don't know what that means in terms of him being able to return, but potentially, obviously, and this isn't all on Heineke. Heineke has done a lot of good things. It's just right now the entire offense isn't clicking. Today they couldn't get McLaurin the ball. I feel like he had 3 catches.
He did not have much at all.
Yeah. And he didn't have many more targets than that. So he was very limited. And obviously they've been without Logan Thomas. Ricky Seals-Jones has stepped up and done some good things. And
McLaurin had that's carries, not.
Yeah.
Here we go. Sorry, 3 receptions for 23 yards. Yeah. So that's J.D. McKissick had all the yards, man. 83,
Yeah.
8 catches.
Yeah.
He had a good game. And
Yeah.
then so did Jarrett Patterson. I hate to say it, but Jarrett Patterson looked better than Antonio Gibson every single play he was in there versus when Gibson was in.
Well,
every single time.
I think
Gibson might still be working with the injury.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. And they need to just maybe let him rest. Patterson.
And I think that was a good move, yes, to give Jarrett Patterson the bigger workload and maybe let Antonio Gibson rest.
And McKissick. But I mean, because he did a lot
yeah,
today. But
yeah. So I think, like they said, he's early in the season, Gibson was playing like 60% of the snaps. I think they said now he's playing like 35 or 40. So they are trying to rest that shin because
that's good. Yeah, they need to.
I mean, if they're gonna make a run late in the season, they need him healthy. So
yeah, I mean, it looks like that the coaching staff is gaining trust in Patterson, which he earned already, but he got a lot today. I think there was a time where he carried it like multiple downs in a row where it was just him, and no one else. So that's good. They feel like they can rely on him. And every time he got the ball, man, he got yards, even if it wasn't a ton. Instead of Gibson getting stopped at the with 1 yard gain, he might get 3, 4, 5. Like I think he had 11 for 46.
Yeah,
11 carries for 46, and that works.
Yeah, I wish that they would have run more because that Heineke had 95 rushing yards, and I think in this game he had 1 carry for 10 yards. So I wish they would have let him, because I felt like if they would have done that, they could have moved the ball a little bit better. And it's not so much that they didn't move the ball, but like you said, they turned the ball over on downs a few times. They had a couple turnovers, which you can't do. The blocked kicks.
The block kicks really. I mean, that's 6 points right there. That they were, that's really, really, really tough. You're not going to win in the NFL if you don't have a reliable kicker. You're just not. If you're losing points like that, and then you can't capitalize when you get into the end zone. Like at the end of the game, it was rough. I mean, we had the chance to get in, but then just couldn't get anything. And then Heineke throws that ball in there, and it gets picked. It didn't really matter at that point, but
well, it's a situation where Ron passed up a field goal in the first half and decided to go for it. It would have been about a 45-yarder that they didn't try. And at that point, it's because you obviously didn't have a lot of trust in Blewett. So obviously, if that would have been more of a consistent thing.
The craziest part was definitely when they fumbled, when it was like 20 something seconds left or whatever. Game's over, and all of a sudden Melvin Gordon fumbles the ball, and we're like, what? There's like 21 seconds left, and I was like, there's actually hope, maybe, but of course
they just couldn't execute offensively. They just couldn't put a good play together. It was just, and it's just, again, it comes down to something that I wanted to mention here is at this point, McLaurin's got 42 catches, and they were really relying on Curtis Samuel to be that number 2 option. Due to injuries to Curtis Samuel and Cam Sims, the receiver with the next highest catches is Adam Humphries. He's got 20. So that's 22 less catches than McLaurin has. So the biggest issue they had last season was they didn't have anybody that was like a consistent threat other than McLaurin, and that's kind of where they're at again at receiver. They do have McKissick, which is a big help, but they need to get Logan Thomas back. They need to get Curtis Samuel back, because Curtis Samuel's played in all of like a game and a half this season. He hasn't done much.
And I would say the best, one of the best plays of the game, at least on the offense. I'd say on defense, probably Landon Collins' contributions today. He had some really good plays, but Heineke's touchdown pass to DeAndre Carter, that was a very, very, very nice pass. It's perfectly placed.
Dropped it right in.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite plays on the offense of this game.
Yeah, there are. It's always shitty and frustrating to lose, but in this losing, one thing that you can say, from the perspective of a Washington fan, is that at least in this, you're getting to see some young players get some playing time, in their rookie years, like some players in recent weeks, like Dax Milne. There's been John Bates, the back.
He got a catch today. Yeah, John Bates got a catch today.
John Bates got his second catch of the season today. So yeah, John Bates has been getting some work recently. So I mean, it's been good to see. I mean, DeAndre Carter, who was like only a return guy, catching his first NFL touchdown today. So
Yeah.
really good to see. Really good to see. So I mean, and that's kind of where we were at last year with the Niners. It was just such a shitty season, but we had so many injuries that you got to see guys that never got to play get their first opportunities, and that was really cool. So in this, Curtis Samuel should obviously be the one in there getting those reps, but since he hasn't been getting to see some other guys get some opportunities.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, some of the injured guys will come back.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we got the bye. The bye week really does come in a good time. There's a lot of O-line injuries and existing injuries. So hopefully this extra will at least give us some people back. I mean, I know some of them aren't coming back, but
yeah.
Wonder how that Cowboys Vikings game looks. It says 13-13
13-13,
here, so
yeah.
still, yeah.
Yeah. Following up to the minute. We got the can't show you any highlights because that'd be illegal by the NFL. So we're just gonna live look in here. 13-13 game. Seeing what happens. Oh, it's already the fourth quarter. Is that
Yeah.
accurate? Wow.
Yes, it is.
Good. That Cowboys offense looks a whole lot different without Dak in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hope Vikings. Hope Kirk's cousin can come out and make a win.
Oh man, Kirk's
for the
cousin.
Vikings.
Kirk's cousin right now is once again unanimously loved by all Redskins nation. Like I know a lot of them love him anyway. But
yeah, right now,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Right now they're united. And they're like, "Oh, Kirk, we loved you this whole time. We always knew you had it in you."
Man, I would take Kirk back right now in a fucking goddamn heartbeat.
Apparently Kyle would have too back in 2007. That's the rumor.
Oh boy, another Kirk Cousins about Mac Jones.
Yeah. I know I've told you about that, right? Where Kyle was basically waiting until the end of the 2017 season for Kirk to become a free agent and sign him. And then John Lynch was like, "Hey, like midway through the 2017 season, he's like, "Hey, let's send a number 2 pick to New England for Jimmy." And apparently Kyle was pissed at first because Kyle wanted to wait until the offseason to get Kirk, but I think it worked out better. I mean, Kirk hasn't been to any Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Yeah.
we got the bye week, so everyone hopefully they get rested up and
Yep.
beat the Bucks like we didn't last year. We got so close, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to be one of the few teams that actually beats them. Especially because I'm going to be at that one in person, so that's really nice. It'd be nice to see a win. I feel like that's a kind of a poor choice of a game to go and travel to, but opportunity came, so I'm taking it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you'll get to see them play like the best possible team or one of the.
And yeah, I'll get to see Tom Brady because I mean, even though I live here, near Tampa, it's like I haven't been to a Bucks game, but so it's very ironic. I'm going to see the Bucks play up in Maryland. It's just strange.
Nice. Oh yeah. Hopefully it's a good game.
Hopefully it is, and then talk about it after. Hopefully I think it'll at least be good. I mean, even just being there in person, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it, even if it's not a win. I mean, I really don't expect it to be a win. So if it is, awesome. But I'll go in there with a level of expectation.
Well, you got to start the win streak somewhere. You got to start with one.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, yep. Join us. I guess it'll be 2 weeks for the Redskins rundown. So nothing next week, and then after the Bucks game, we'll see you then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess if anything like notable happens within the week, we can cover it briefly. But yeah, definitely no game this week. So
yeah, I mean, if there's anything other team news that might be worth mentioning, definitely.
For sure.